Before this wedding, a journalist asked me what I thought Kate was going to wear because she was already a fashion icon. And I said, it's going to have long sleeves, it's going to be lace, and it's going to have a train. Because that's what you wear when you marry the future king. I'm fashion historian Kimberly Chrisman-Campbell.
My name is Crystal. I am the creative director for Casablanca Bridal.
My name is Nayri, also known as wedding fashion expert. This is Designer Dresses Deconstructed. Today, we are deconstructing Kate Middleton's wedding dress.
If I were to look up a definition of a wedding dress in a dictionary, I think Kate Middleton's dress is 100% the picture that would be used.
When you think of a royal getting married, you think of this classic, timeless, elegant, chic look, and she nailed it. Between the crown, the dress, the bouquet, so perfect.
She dipped into royal traditions. She looked at previous wedding gowns worn by royal women. She chose a British designer, of course, because that would be the patriotic choice for the future Queen of England.
And the wedding took place in 2011, which means this was the beginning stages where Instagram started just blowing up as a whole.
It's actually kind of interesting because for Meghan Markle, we really see her dress as unorthodox and unconventional. But when you look at Kate's dress in context of the historical time, it was actually considered a really edgy choice. Kate Middleton wore an Alexander McQueen dress designed by Sarah Burton, which featured a high mock neckline that plunged slightly in the front and was sheer, which really allowed the lace details to kind of pop out.
Looking at Kate Middleton's look, it's just fitted to her to perfection. It's such an iconic moment in fashion history.
Like her mother-in-law Diana's gown, Kate's wedding gown incorporated Irish handmade Carrick-Macross lace from Carrick-Macross, a village in Ireland.
The plunging neckline, I think, is such a small detail, but really is what completely transformed the look from being too classic to youthful.
It's traditional, but it's not boring, partly thanks to that crumb-catcher neckline.
Something that stands out to me is her tiara.
Traditionally, a royal or aristocratic bride wore a tiara on her wedding day, often for the very first time, as Kate Middleton did.
This tiara was gifted to Queen Elizabeth for her 18th birthday, and this was Kate's something borrowed item that she got to wear on wedding day. Who do I need to be friends with for that tiara to be my something borrowed on my wedding day? Who's with me here? The coverage of this wedding had such a huge impact on the wedding industry. Bridal gown designers were racing to try to figure out how they can incorporate her looks into getting them into the stores as quickly as they possibly could, because the demand from brides wanting to try it on was literally more than we could even handle. The phones would ring constantly. So the perfect solution, which worked out really well for anybody who wants to recreate her look for your wedding, our designer sent us a detachable bolero that mimics the lace top that she's wearing. So you could essentially put this lace jacket bolero with any simple dress that you love.
I think that it's really taught a lot of people about how intricate and well thought out laces can really be.
Queen Victoria started the tradition of wearing British-made lace for her wedding in 1840. Kate's gown unites this very old tradition of lace making with a cutting-edge designer, Sarah Burton, for Alexander McQueen.
From afar, you'd think, oh, that's a really nice lace dress, but when you get closer, you realize that every single detail is there to either tell you a story or pay homage to their heritage. The straps and sleeves were also definitely not a thing that people were wearing or looking for at that time, but became so popular after this wedding and is still a prevalent trend today because of Kate Middleton.
This is a pure princess gown, complete with a crown. But the princess look is a classic for a reason.
This brought crowns back in such a huge way for brides. All of a sudden, anybody who was on the fence about wearing a crown for wedding day, it was a guaranteed, I'm showing up on my wedding day with a crown. And we still see it until today. Thanks for tuning in to Designer Dresses Deconstructed. We will see you next time.